Episode of the Birmingham Barons franchise, and today we're going to take on the Rocket City Trash Pandas for the 5th time on the last of this series, and after that we're going to go head to the Jackson Generals, the Arizona Diamondbacks AAA affiliate, or AA affiliate, sorry. So we have a 3-1 lead on this team at the moment. We haven't seen Blake Battenfield perform yet, so we'll see how he does there. We do have a couple people that we need to sub out for today, like William Jang's a little bit tired, so what we're going to do is we're going to put Tim Beckham out at left and have him bat second. Strong safety, wow, been playing too much Giants lately. Laz Rivera is going to go in. To give Remillard a little bit of a break, we're going to put Taekwon Forbes out there. And then this is going to be really sloppy, but we need to find someone to substitute for Mike Rodolfo. And that's going to have to be Nate Nolan. Hopefully we don't get too many fly balls out his way. But we shall see. So with that being said, let's just get right into this final game against the Trash Pandas. I'm really excited about this because I feel like Blake Battenfield is one of the pitchers that's on the 40-man roster, and if not, he has a lot of potential behind him. It's one of those two, so I'm excited to see what he's capable of. And after this game, we're going to start looking at new formations as to who's solidified at what position, and possibly working on the positions that we don't have solidified and working on our rotation as well. There's been a couple games so far that we've taken over late in the game, in the late innings, and just come back from a deficit. So that's really nice. As we're gonna have Zambrano come up to bat first, who I believe hasn't had an at bat yet. He's giving Edwin Yan the break today at left field, as that's gonna be a strike from Blake Battenfield, as that's his first strike of the day. We're starting off strong this season. We're showing a lot of offense, a lot of pop in that bat, especially from the likes of Tim Beckham, AJ Reid, so on and so forth, which is really nice to see. As we're going to get a strikeout for the first batters. That's a great way to start off the season from Blake Battenfield. The way I like to structure my rotations, not exactly a normal way of structuring a rotation. I like to have my best two at first and fifth, so that way I have, like, in the middle I have my gaps, and I like my third best at second, and then my fourth at fourth, kind of in just my middle guy just in the middle, just to kind of have that inconsistency of who to expect. And my rotation will definitely be changing, as you will be seeing new players come in and out. Probably not a lot this season, or per season. That's going to be the second strikeout from Blake Battenfield, as he's starting off really strong. I was not quite expecting this strong of a start from him, as that's going to be another strike, as this has been great. A great way to start the first inning from Blake Battenfield, as that's his first ball there, making it a 1-1 count. And that's going to be popped out to Nate Nolan, who's not going to know what to do, as that's going to hit the gap, as that's going to be up to Tom Chanel, which this is going to be kind of a sloppy play. Not kind of, this is a sloppy play, as that's going to get a triple, as we're going to really have to rely on the fact that we're going to need some great infield play and great pitching, especially with Nate Nolan out at center field holding down the outfield. And that's going to be fouled off by by Chris Rogers, who's really kind of struggled in these past few games. He's going to strike out there, as they will leave the runner stranded at third base. The Trash Pandas pitcher in this one is going to be Jason Alexander, as you can see. Haven't seen him yet, as this is his first start of the season. As to start off the ball game, we have Ronald Escalona to bat for us, who's going to swing at this one, and that's just going to get to the shortstop there, as that will be a first out of the game. Up to bat now, we have Tim Beckham, who's playing left field today, who's actually kind of had ups and downs for this season so far, as he's going to get this one to the third base, as that will be yet another one pitch out against the Birmingham Barons. Up to bat now, we have AJ Reid, who's really kind of stepped up from that first game slump that he had, which is really nice to see when your players can just kind of put it together. So that's going to be a ball there, as he is now looking at a 1-0 count. Now 1-0, and he's going to foul this one off and get it a 1-1 count. As we've seen in these past few games, we're definitely not scared to put on some runs. So this offense is definitely going to be exciting to see, as that's going to be a swing and a miss, as it's now 1-2 count for AJ Reid. And he's going to get called for the swing there, as that's going to be the third out of this first inning. Up to bat now, we have Zane Gerwitz, who's been a really solid hitter for this Trash Panda team. He's going to look at a strike there. Gerwitz 2 for 6 in that last game, as he's going to swing here to the first base, as that's going to be stopped by the outfielders. AJ Reid, for some reason, is going to go to try and get the ball when he should have just ran to the first base plate. Instead, that will be a base hit for, I can't remember who that was. For the hitter, we'll just say that, as that's going to be Connor Justice swinging yet again at a ball, and that will be the third time that he swings, and that'll be another strikeout for Blake Battenfield. He's looking at his fourth already in this second inning. And that's going to be the second ball for Blake Battenfield. That'll be fouled off, making it a 1-1 count. Definitely excited about what this team can possibly give overall, because there's definitely some potential behind this team. As he's going to swing at that one, he's going to miss and making it a 1-2 count. Sorry, and he's going to not swing at that, make it at a 2-2 count now. This team definitely has a lot of potential players on it, a lot of players with some potential to them. Which is going to be exciting to see for sure, as Blake Battenfield's going to get him to swing at that one, as that will be the 5th strikeout already, as he struck out 5 batters in the first 2 innings. Kevin Maiton's up to bat now, as that's going to be a strike that he looks at, as Maiton's not been, the best hitter on this Trash Pandas team against us, but he's definitely been solid, as that'll be the first ball there for Maiton. Kevin Maiton's going to swing at that. That's going to make it a 1-2 count, as Blake Battenfield's looking at possibly getting his 6th strikeout in the second inning. This is going to throw a ball there, making it a 2-2 count. He's going to make him swing at that curveball, and just like that, that's his 6th strikeout in these 2 innings, as that's just an incredible start. Up to bat now, we have Matt Skull, who got his first home run in this last game, which is about time, as he's going to foul this one off, as he's been really just getting great contact on the ball all season up to this point. It's just he can't quite get it to land where he wants it to, as he's going to swing at this one, as that's cracked, but it goes foul, as that's a case in point right there as to what I was saying. And he's not going to swing at that, making it a 1-2 count, as he's, yet again, he's probably one of the more patient batters. He's actually gotten a little bit of MLB time up in the majors. He's not going to swing at that. One of the couple that we have on this team that has some major league experience, which provides a lot of help to this roster. He's going to swing and miss there, as that's going to be a strikeout, as that's Jason Alexander's 2nd. Up to bat now, we have Nate Nolan, who's normally a catcher, but he's playing center field today because of the lack of depth that we have there, as he's going to not swing at that, making it a 1-0 count. This is now the 2nd game in a row that Nate Nolan's played, as he's going to swing and miss at that, as it's now a 1-1 count. Nate Nolan won't really provide much out in the outfield, but he's definitely a solid bat to have, as he's going to swing and miss there, making it a 1-2 count. I definitely see Nate Nolan becoming a pretty good key piece in this organization as he swings and misses there for the final out of this inning. Sorry, the second out of this inning. Up to bat now we have the regular catcher, Yerman Mercedes, who's been on a little bit of a slump here as he's going to foul this one off, making it an 0-1 count. Yerman Mercedes, you know, having kind of a sluggish start to the season as he's going to swing here. So that's going to hit the gap, and that will be a base hit, the first of the Barons' day. As I was saying, having a little bit of a slow start to the season. Every now and then he'll put something together for us, which is nice to see. Home to bat now, we have Damek Tomsha, who's kind of just been one of the best hitters. He just hasn't gotten a home run or an RBI. As this looks like that'll hit the gap here, as that'll get to at least a double, as that will be a ground rule double, putting a runner second and third, as that's yet another opportunity that Tomsha's put us in a great situation. Up to bat now we have Laz Rivera, who's going to smack this ball here, as that's going to go towards the right fielder, who will make the catch, and that will leave the runner stranded at second and third.
Leading off for Rocket City, the catcher, number 41, Julian Leon.
Up to bat now we have Julian Leon, who's looks like he's kind of taken over those starting roles for the catchers. He's showing it off here for sure, as that will be off the wall. So I thought that was going to be a home run here, as Nate Nolan makes the effort to stop the ball from going any further. So that's going to be a double from Julian Leon, as he's proving why he took over the starting position over Jack Kruger. So that's going to be a strike here for Felix Zambrano, who is 0 for 1 to start off the day. So we're seeing this top of the lineup kind of start to resurface a little bit. As now Blake Battenfield is looking at an 0-2 count. He's going to get him a swing and miss here. So that's going to be the 7th strikeout for Blake Battenfield, as he's just kind of off to a great start in his first ever start this season. He's going to swing here, as that's going to be just right on over to Taekwon Forbes, who makes an errant throw, as that will be a error on his part, as this young season's really just not treating Taekwon Forbes too well. Up to bat now we have Donnie Dewis, who just seems to be just kind of everywhere for these Trash Pandas. He's probably going to be a really good key player for them, and possibly even in the organization. Looking at a 2-1 count now. It's going to be fouled off here, so it's a 2-2 count for Donnie Dewis. We're going to get it over to Laz Rivera, who's going to make the catch, and that will make it the second out with runners at first and second. Up to bat now we have Chris Rogers, who's really just not found anything in this going in this past couple games. 4 strikeouts in his 0 for 6 performance last game, as he's looking at a really nice hit there, as this could possibly turn around his slump that he's having, as Nate Nolan struggled there to catch the ball. He's going to throw to his cutoff man, and that's going to allow 2 runners to come across the board, as that was just a good way to get his slump turned around there. Zane Gerwitz is up to bat now, so that's going to be a strike there, making it an 0-1 count. That's going to be a slider there for an 0-2 count now against Zane Gerwitz. And he's going to get him a strikeout there, so that's going to be the 8th strikeout. In these first 3 innings, he's still got 8 strikeouts. Up to bat now we have Taekwon Forbes for his first at-bat for the day. I think he went 0 for 3, 0 for 4 in his last game. He's really kind of struggling there, as he kind of pops it up here, as Donnie Dewis is going to make the play out in center, and he will make that catch. We have Ronald Escalona now up to bat, as he's going to crack the ball here, so that's going to not stay fair, and that'll be fouled off, and that will make it a 0-1 count. and that's going to be a ball here, so he's going to look at a 1-1 count. He's not going to swing at that, and that's going to be a 1-2 count now for Ronald Escalona. Escalona's been a very solid player for us up to this point, as he's going to hit it over to Kevin Maiton, who will get a routine play, and that will be another out in this inning. We have Tim Beckham up to bat now, who seems like he's just been kind of taking over this leadership role for the team. He's going to foul that fastball off, as that was reaching the high 90s there, as he's kind of really just carried this team a couple times to victory. He's going to swing at this one, as that's going to be hit up to the shortstop, and that will be thrown to the dirt, but just enough to get Beckham out. Top of the fourth now, as Blake Battenfield doesn't really seem to be getting too tired out there, as that's going to be a strike there against Connor Justice. He's going to get him to foul off here, as it looks like he's going to be at an 0-2 count to start off with his first batter here. He's going to get him to drive it on over to Ronald Escalona, who will have no problem with getting over to AJ Reid for the first out.
Now batting, designated hitter, Roberto Baldwin.
Up to bat now, we have Roberto Baldwin, the DH for the Trash Pandas. He's 0 for 1 on the day so far, as it's really been kind of hard to find some rhythm against this this pitching for us, because we've just been really lights out. As that's going to be sliced just foul, as that was really close to being a really good play, as it's still an 0-2 count. And that's going to be a slider that goes just inside for a ball, making it a 1-2 count. Battenfield's going to get him to pop up here, as Tim Beckham will be out there in left, and he will make the catch for the second out. Overall, even though the score shows 2-0, we've still showed pretty decent pitching with 8 strikeouts. As Kevin Maiton's up to bat here, as he's going to crack this one over to Tim Beckham, who will run, and he will not quite make the catch there, as he's going to have to make a throw here to second base. He's going to throw off the bag, and that will be a double and ruled an error against Tim Beckham. As a leader, we really can't be seeing that from him. That's exactly why we brought him in, is to kind of take on that leadership role, show how it's done out there. He's had the most amount of major league experience out of anyone here, as that's called a ball there. So that'll get popped up, and just like that, Yerman Mercedes will make the catch, ending this inning, as Blake Battenfield goes another inning without letting a run happen. Up to bat now, we have AJ Reid, who's 0 for 1 on the day so far, hoping that he can turn that around, as he's going to look at a ball there, as that was a outside the zone pitch for a 1-0 count now. AJ Reid's going to crack this one, as that looks like that's going to sail there, as that will be gone, as that's going to be a home run for AJ Reid, his 5th of this season. That was an incredible hit by AJ Reid here, as he showed some patience on the plate, as he just absolutely cracked that one out of the park, making this a 2-1 deficit now. Up to bat now, we have Matt Skull, who cracks this one, as that's going to be back-to-back homers, and that will tie up this ball game, and that's Skull's 2nd of the season. Up to bat now, we have, I believe that's Nate Nolan, who's going to get hit by the pitch, as that was kind of a wild throw, as he's not happy with the pitcher there. I don't think the pitcher's too happy with himself, as he allows a walk there, and that will now be a runner at first base. Jason Alexander still out there, as he looks like he's starting to struggle a little bit, as he's going to throw it right down the middle, as that's going to be dropped flat out, as that could have been a catch for an out, but he's just going to drop it, and that'll leave a runner at first and second for the Birmingham Barons. Now up to bat, we have Damick Tomsha, he's in perfect position to possibly get his first RBI of the season, as that will be dropped in the infield, and that will be just enough to get the bases loaded, but not quite enough to get his first RBI of the season. Up to bat now, we have Laz Rivera, who's playing shortstop for us today. He's 0 for 1, and he can possibly get something going here. So that's going to get hit into the right field as they're attacking this right field today, as that will be another run, keeping the bases loaded, making it 3-2 for Laz Rivera's first hit of the day and his first RBI of the day. Up to bat now, we have Taekwon Forbes, who's 0 for 1 on the day, the fly out, as he's going to swing at a pitch here, as that's kind of outside, as he did not need to swing at that, and it's now an 0-1 count. So far, Taekwon Forbes is 0 for 5 on the season. It's kind of been a rough start for the little amount of plate appearances that he does have. Hopefully he can turn that around at some point, as he's going to swing at a slider here, and that will be an 0-2 count now. As you can see, Simon Matthews is already warming up for the Trash Pandas. So we've seen a little bit of him already in this 5-game series. As Taekwon Forbes is going to swing and miss, that'll be the first out, and now Taekwon Forbes is 0 for 2 on the day. That'll give Jason Alexander his 4th strikeout of the day. Up to bat now, we have Ronald Escalona, who's 0 for 2. And he's looking to really capitalize on that here. He's not going to swing at that slider, making it a 1-0 count. Escalona definitely playing as one of the better hitters on this team, kind of just really good on defense. As he's going to hit here, that will be just fouls. That looked like that could have hit the line, but there's no challenge in baseball, as that will just be called a foul ball, as I swing at that, as it's now making it a 1-2 count for Escalona. Escalona's going to swing here, and that's going to foul off, making it a 1-2 count. As all he really needs to do here is just pop this one up for an RBI, and that would give us a 2-run lead. As he's going to swing and miss here at a slider, as that's going to be the 5th strikeout for Jason Alexander today, as this looks like we're not really capitalizing much on this bases loaded situation. As up to bat now, we have Tim Beckham, which he's possibly going to get his first grand slam here, as it looks like they're not going to allow that, as he's going to throw a ball here, make it a 1-0 count. Tim Beckham's definitely one of those batters that you need to look out for down at the AA level, because he just has a lot of pop in his bat, as he's possibly going to hit it hard, and that's exactly what he does here, but it looks like it'll end up just shy, and the left fielder out there will make the catch instead of it being a grand slam. Now we're going into the 5th inning here, as it looks like Blake Battenfield still has a decent amount of energy left in him, as that's going to be a curveball for a strike here, as it's now an 0-1 count. And it looks like they really haven't done too much in the way to expose the fact that our center fielder is just really not a natural center fielder, and they haven't tried to get him to run. So that's going to be another strikeout, as that's going to be Blake Battenfield's 9th of the day, as he's just really just having the day of a career right now. I mean, it's just kind of impressive. He's going to throw a strike there, making it an 0-1 count. He's going to hit it, and that's going to be a fly ball for Nate Nolan, as he's going to get to the ball here. He will make the catch out there, as I'm very surprised, even though it's very routine to make just a regular catch like that, as that's going to be the 2nd out of this inning. Donnie Dewis is going to look at a changeup there. Sorry, curveball for a ball, as it's now a 1-0 count. That'll be a strike, as that's actually a changeup, and making it a 1-1 count. Fastball here, so they're going to hit it over to Tim Beckham, who dropped the ball earlier. He's going to make the catch out there, and that will wrap up this 5th inning. As up to bat now, we have AJ Reid, who hit a solo homer earlier. As he's looking to possibly do that again, as he has some serious pop in his bat. That's going to be a slider that he'll let get in there, and that will make it a 1 count. And that's going to be a fastball that's just outside, making it a 1-1 count. And as you saw in that little graphic earlier, AJ Reid was actually taken in the 2nd round in the 2014 draft. As he's going to crack this one, as that'll be enough to get to the wall, and then he will gladly get into second base for a double, and he will stay at second. But as you can see, yeah, he was a second round pick, but he never quite panned out. As Skull's going to swing at a high fastball there, making it an 0-1 count. Matt Skull getting his second hit, or his second home run, I should say, last game, as that was really important to see that. I really like seeing him succeed, as he's going to hit the gap here, as they're going to send AJ Reid home, as he's going to slide in, and he's not going to quite get there, as that was a very risky play with almost no reward seen there, as that will be the first out of this game, or out of this inning. That's going to be a high fastball there for Nate Nolan, who's 0 for 1 on the day so far, and he's looking to change that around, hopefully. Jason Alexander's running a little bit low on energy here, so he's going to throw a low fastball there, which does actually get into the strike zone for a strike. That'll be fouled off by Nate Nolan. Nate Nolan, another one of those guys who was taken earlier in the draft. He was in the 8th round and just not quite panned out yet. He's going to swing and miss there, so that's going to be a strikeout. I believe that's the 6th on the day. Yep, the 6th for Jason Alexander.
Now batting, catcher,
Alright, up to bat now we have Yerman Mercedes, who's having a decent day of it. I think he's 1 for 2, I want to say. He's actually 2 for 2, 2 singles. He's going to hit this one, as that's going to go deep into the outfield, but the center fielder, Donnie Dewis, will be there to make the catch, and that will end this 5th inning. So it looks like Blake Battenfield still has some energy left, but we're still going to get a couple guys warmed up here. Brady Lyle and Danny DePacchio. As we're going to keep Blake Battenfield in there as long as he thinks he can pitch, as he's going to throw a strike here for an 0-1 count. And that'll be a changeup here for an 0-2 count, as that will possibly be the 10th strikeout of the day for Blake Battenfield, as that's against Chris Rogers, who looks like that might have been just a very lucky hit earlier for that double. So that'll be a slider here, as that is now a 1-0 count. Yet another slider here, as that will be a 1-1 count. So far it looks like Blake Battenfield showed kind of the most upside as a pitcher, as that'll be a strike here. He's seemingly each inning going less and less pitches, which is very impressive, to say the least, as he's going to get it to the second baseman here, Ronald Escalona, who will throw it to AJ Reid with a routine play, and that'll be the 2nd out, as Blake Battenfield's kind of just limiting the amount of pitches that we see per inning, which is really nice to see, as he might possibly be our ace going forward after a while. Obviously he won't start the next game, because that will just be very bad to start a pitcher in back-to-back games. So that's going to be Nate Nolan out there, who will make the catch, or not make the catch, but he'll stop it from going any further, and he will throw it to second base. Up to bat now we have Roberto Baldwin, who's 0 for 2 on the day so far. He hasn't quite gotten much going on the way of offense, as that's going to be a strike, as it's now a 1-1 count. He's going to pop this up here, as that'll possibly be fair, and that looks like that'll just be foul, as it couldn't quite be caught by Tim Beckham there in the outfield. And he's going to get him to swing here, so that'll just be a routine little toss play by Ronald Escalona to Laz Rivera, as that will wrap up this top of the inning, as we're now going into the bottom of the 6th.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
As you can see here, the Trash Pandas are putting in a reserve pitcher, Eric Julio, which you've seen him earlier this season, but it was just a brief stint, I believe. It was in the extra innings that we saw him pitch for an inning or so. As he's going to throw a strike here, as Thompson's going to hit that right back up the middle, as that'll be the shortstop there, and that'll be enough to get him out for the first out of the 6th inning. Up to bat now we have Laz Rivera, who's going to foul this one off, and that'll make it a 0-1 count. Laz Rivera's going to ask for a timeout here, and with that, we'll go ahead into this pitching room, and we will go ahead and let Brady Lyle know that he is going to come in after this inning. Laz Rivera's going to look at a high fastball there, as that's going to be a ball. This is now a 1-1 count. And he's going to swing at this low sliders. It's now a 1-2 count. As that's going to be right down the middle, as that will be fouled off by Laz Rivera. He's going to crack this one, as that's just going to be right to the left fielder. That was a great hit ball, but just not quite placed where he wanted. Up to bat now we have Taekwon Forbes, who's hopefully going to get something going, as he's just been kind of in a slump. As he's going to crack this ball here, so that's going to hit out to the center fielder, but Donnie Dewis is going to make a great play out in center field, robbing him of his first hit of the season, as Donnie Dewis has just been a great defender out there. As you can see here, he robs him of that hit. So in this game, we're substituting Blake Battenfield, who had a great, incredible day up to this point, with Brady Lyle, who's also kind of had a pretty decent season up to this point. 4 strikeouts over 2 games in 4 innings. It's about 2 every other inning, or 1 every other inning. He's going to look at a ball there, making it at a 1-0 count for Kevin Maiton. Looking at a change up there, it's now a 1-1 count. This pitching group is definitely not one of the strongest we'll see in this AA league, but it's definitely has a high ceiling to it for sure. It's going to look at a slider there, and that's going to make it a 2-2 count. And he's going to swing here. Nolan's going to have to make a play out in center field, and that's exactly what he shall do for the first out of this inning. Julian Leon's coming in, and that'll be a strike against him, as he's 1 for 2 on the day so far, as he's kind of just overall just taken over Jack Kruger's spot, and it seems like he really just wants that spot, and honestly it seems like he's earned it. Jack Kruger was solid in his first game, but Julian Leon came in every game since and has been kind of batting well. He's been not really allowing too many wild pitches, as he will pop it up there for an out, the second of the 7th inning. Felix Zambrano is going to come on in. He's 0 for 3 on the day so far. Not exactly a good way to have a game, as that's going to be hit over to Taekwon Forbes, as Forbes is going to get AJ Reid he's going to throw AJ Reid off the bag, as that's yet another time that he just hasn't clicked on defense, as it looks like Taekwon Forbes is just having an all-around slump in his game, as that was just a terrible throw. As that's right down the middle here for a strike. It's going to be a changeup here for a 1-2 count now. And there's a runner on first base, and they think that he's possibly going to steal it, as he's not going to, as Brady Lyle will get a strikeout there, ending the top of the 7th inning. Leading off, we have Ronald Escalona, who's 0 for 3 for this game, which is not really a good way to have a start it to the game, as he's going to call a timeout here. With that, we're going to go to our bullpen, as we're going to have Danny DePacchio come in for this upcoming game, as we're going to have Hunter Shriver warm up as well, as he's our closing pitcher. Hopefully we can retain this lead that we have. Escalona's going to swing at this. He's going to foul it off, making it a 0-2 count. Eric Julio now at his 10th pitch, as he's going to swing at this, and that's going to be just popped up to the left fielder out there. And that'll be a routine fly ball, as that will be the first out of the 7th inning. Up to bat now, we have Tim Beckham, who's 0 for 3 as well. Hopefully he can kind of turn that around a little bit, as he's kind of just been an overall leader. He's a utility player as well, as that'll be a ball. And I can't really praise him enough, even though he's having a kind of bad day. But again, I can't really praise him enough for what he's capable of doing in this league, as he's going to crack this one here. That'll just be a little soft tapper to the left fielder for the 4th out that Tim Beckham has caused. AJ Reid up to bat now, who's really just kind of lighting it up out there for a 2 for 3 game, as he's going to foul this one off here, and that'll make it an 0-1 count. He's going to foul this one off here, so that's going to make it an 0-2 count. And that'll be a ball here, making it a 1-2 count. Overall, this Rocket City team has definitely got some strong points to it. Case in point, you have Brandon Sanger and Donnie Dewis out there in the outfield, just really kind of holding it down. The same with Edwin Yon being a top prospect. That's definitely a solid outfield. So that's the 3rd ball in a row now, as he's looking at a full count. Definitely this Trash Pandas team has some upside to it, as that's going to be hit right up the line. So that will be tapped out for the 2nd out of the inning. Sorry, the final out of the inning. Is incoming. We have Danny DePacchio. And as this will now be the top of the 8th inning, as DePacchio, or DePico, I should say, that's his actual name, not DePacchio. DePico is now looking at an 0-1 count, as he's going to get him to swing at this, and he'll pop it out to Tim Beckham, who will make the catch, just barely out there, but he'll make it for the 1st out. As someone's not happy here, as this is going to be a rain delay, and we're going to just keep the regular pitcher out there. It's really unfortunate, as his energy really kind of goes down at this rate, which is totally fine, because he's only going to be in for this inning anyway, as it's going to be a ball here, as it's a 1-1 count. In attendance, this is now our lowest attendance for a game this season up to this point, with 3,700 fans out there in the crowd watching this game. As that's going to be a strikeout here for the 2nd out of the inning, as Chris Rogers is really just not happy with his slump, so he just can't get anything going. As Zane Gerwitz now is going to look at a ball here. As you can tell, the fans weren't too happy with that call, so that'll be fouled off, making it a 1-1 count. And that'll be fouled off yet again by Gerwitz, making it a 1-2 count. And that's going to be a ball here, making it a 2-2 count. As I was saying earlier, this Trash Pandas team definitely has some upside, as DePico throws a ball there, making it a 3-2 count. They definitely have some upside. If they can put their pieces together, they'll definitely be solid this season for sure. This is going to foul off yet again, as that's still keeping it a full count. He's going to foul it off again, keeping it 3-2, and that's going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat, as he's going to pop this one up, as Tom Schill will be out there to make the catch, ending this inning. They now have Brett Hanowicz coming in. He's got one save on the season. He's had a 3.0 ERA, one strikeout. Really bad against right-handed batters, which is exactly what he's going to be facing a lot of. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and let Hunter Shriver know he's coming in for this next game. Up to bat now we have Matt Skull, who's going to look at a low fastball there for a strike, making it an 0-1 count. That's going to be a ball there, making it a 1-1 count. Yeah, this Trash Pandas team, their pitching could definitely use a little bit of upgrading for sure, as that was a curveball there that got Matt Skull swinging at that, making it a 1-2 count. But yeah, their pitching isn't really anything spectacular, as that'll be a strikeout, as that's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Brett Hanowicz for the first out of this 8th inning. Nate Nolan's now up to bat here, as he's going to hit this one, as that will be flown out to right field, but Brett Sanger will be out there for the catch for the second out of the 8th inning. They definitely have probably one of the better outfields that we'll probably see all season. In the way of potential, as German Mercedes is going to pop this one up, and that will be Sanger out there for the catch. This will take us to the top of the 9th for the possible final inning, as Hunter Shriver will come out for a save opportunities. He's got one save under his belt already, as he has 2 strikeouts, as I think this is his second game that we've seen him in, as his first batter that he'll be going up against is Giambroni. Sorry, Connor Justice. That just looked like Giambroni. Alright, it's an 0-1 count. He's going to look at a knuckle curve there, which is going to be a ball, making it a 1-1 count. And just like that, that's going to be a ball, making it a 2-1 count. That'll be a strike, making it a 2-2 count. Hunter Shriver definitely has a lot of upsides. He can possibly climb up this organizational ladders. That's going to be fouled off here, keeping it at a 2-2 count. He definitely has a lot of potential, I feel like, as a closing pitcher in this organization. So it's possible that he can get called up in the next year or so to go ahead and pitch for the Charlotte Knights. So that'll be fouled off, and that will still keep it at a 2-2 count. He's definitely a pitch-to-contact type of pitcher, which isn't exactly a traditional style from a closer. It's fouled off yet again for the 8th pitch, as that's going to get a strikeout, as that'll be the first out of this top of the 9th. And now the Trash Pandas are down to their final 2, as Roberto Baldwin is up to bat. That'll be a strike here for Hunter Shriver. Shriver's going to get him to foul off here, as it's now an 0-2 count, and he is going to possibly get a strikeout here, as he's going to get him to swing at that knuckle curve, as that's exactly what's going to happen, as that will be the second strikeout of the game and of this final inning. Hopefully final inning. As up to bat now we have Kevin Maiton, the switch hitter, who's going to look at a strike here from Hunter Shriver. Kevin Maiton's another one of those guys who has a lot of potential. He's going to homer this one, as that's not what we wanted to see, as that will tie up this ball game. As just as I thought this could have possibly been the final inning, it's looking like we will still have another one after this. Julian Leon is up to bat now, and it's now an 0-1 count for him, as Shriver's really looking just kind of disappointed and defeated out there. Laz Rivera will make the catch to end the top of the 9th inning. So it looks like it's up to the Barons on offense to yet again come from not necessarily behind, but have a walk-off win in the final inning. Damon Tom shows up to bat now. He's 2 for 3 on the day, as he's going to hit this one, and that's going to be fouled off, and he's looking at a 0-1 count. Damon Thompson is going to hit this one here, so that's going to hit the gap, not quite enough, as the right fielder Brandon Sanger is going to be there, and that's going to be enough for an out. Up to bat now. We have Laz Rivera who's going to look at a ball here. So that's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball that looked awfully close to hitting him, but instead it will just be called a ball. And he's going to hit this one up the middle, as that will be a single for Laz Rivera for this 9th inning. As Brett Hanowicz is now looking at a sticky situation that he's got to get himself out of. Up to bat now, we have Taekwon Forbes, who's 0 for 3 on the day, who really kind of wants to get something going here. As he's 0 for 7 on the season, just hasn't gotten a single hit to go for him all season long, and he really kind of wants to get that changed up here. Taekwon Forbes is going to get this hit here, as that's going to be in the gap, as that's going to get to the center fielder here, as that'll get a runner to third base. As that's going to be his first hit of the season, as that's a great way to get your first hit of the season, and that will advance the runner from first to third. Is now Escalona is going to come up to bat, as all he needs is to pop this ball up just deep enough, and that'll send the runner home for the win. As that's exactly what he might do here. That'll actually land in there, and that'll end this game, as we're going to send the runner home here, as that will be an RBI for Ronald Escalona, as Laz Rivera will come home, and that will win us the game, putting us at 4-1 on the season. As that was just a great way to end that game, as the batting kind of came together. Taekwon Forbes with his first hit of the season there. Just kind of all-around great performance on offense. And really defense, too, was kind of underrated for sure. It was good seeing Blake Battenfield come out there, throw 10 strikeouts. That was just honestly really cool to see, too, I'm not going to lie. And the fact that we had our pitchers come in there, really it kind of wasn't even his fault that they got the 2 runs on him, as he should be credited for the win. As AJ Reid gets player of the game, as I would have to agree with that, as he did kind of bat really well overall. I will say, though, I'm kind of, after that hit, it seemed like Taekwon Forbes has everything together for him. He has everything for him in order to win in this league, for sure. So I really hope he can get something together, you know, for a career. And it definitely starts, you know, if he can get hits together and limit those turnovers and you know, really bad throws. As Hunter Shriver's going to get credited for the win here, so I would really disagree with that. But I'm not the one who credits the wins and the losses and such, so he will be credited for the win, as Blake Battenfield still had a really good game with his 10 strikeout performance, as that will probably be the best that we see from any of our pitchers in a long time, as that will get us to finalize this series against the Trash Pandas, as now we will go on to face the Jackson Generals, who are just as good as us. They have just as much talent, if not more. They're super young. Their outfield is just going to be as good as Rocket City's payoff here. Let's go ahead and just advance here. I would like to kind of look at our rotation and kind of work with that going into this upcoming game. So I wouldn't necessarily put Pilkington as our starter. He was kind of, you know, probably one of the worst pitchers that we saw. Blake Battenfield was definitely good enough to get. I'd put Battenfield at second, Hensman down at the bottom, Paulino. It's kind of either or for Paulino and Thompson here. We'll go ahead and leave that as it is and put Lincoln Hensman at the 5th in the rotation, as he just kind of really did not have a good day. Let's go ahead and advance one more day. That'll put us up against Edwin Encarnacion. Okay. I'm not involved with any decision making up at that level, as we will take on the 4-1 Jackson Generals in this next episode, as we're going up against JB Bukauskas, who has a 3.18 ERA, and Pilkington is a 3.6 ERA. Both are really solid teams. I'll kind of go over their strengths that I've seen in the upcoming episode. And with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.